Hi, I'm Liben. So today I will go through the someline-starter framework with you to demo to you how to use the framework and what is the power of it. Someline-starter is a PHP framework that we can build quickly for web apps and Restful APIs for mobile apps. So we no need to build from scratch if we are using Laravel. It includes many components out of box, and you need to install Laravel homestay before we can get started. So we are now up the homestay. Okay, we are inside homestay. Go to code directory. We copy and paste the command to create the project into someline-starter demo folder, and it will install. Okay. So now we will go to the project folder using the cd someline-starter demo. We are inside. So we will skip add repository first. Now go to installation. Yes. So you must have at least 7.0 PHP and MySQL at least 5.7 installed. So now we'll install Composer again. Now we install npm dependencies. Okay. So now install browser dependencies. And we will copy the env example file to .env file. Okay, you will see .env file. So we will set the permission of these two folders. Then we will generate the keys. Need to create a database for our project. So connect to database, then create the databases using the command. Yes, so you will see the database has been created. The database must be in UTF-8 MB4. So we need to change the config in the env file. We change the API to strict mode. So now we'll have migrate our database and see. You will see migration and see as come together. So it is equivalent to execute the two commands using one. So we wanted to visit in our browser, but at first we need to configure the local domain to visit it on your machine. So we make someline-starter demo to our folders inside homestay. Okay, so we now will set the host, pointing it to local host, the virtual machine IP. So we will ping the domain, see whether it works. So it shows our homestead machine IP address. So we will now provision the domain to make it available. Okay, we can visit login page. So login with the preset credentials. And you are going inside. Yeah, you are done. So we now will demonstrate the basic development process. When we open the project using PHP store, okay, the project has been opened. Now we need to set up some plugins for our development. I suggest you to install the .ignore plugin, Laravel plugin, Vue plugin. Okay, we need to enable the Laravel plugin for this project. Okay. The default namespace for this project is someline, as shown in the composer. So we have some base classes resides in the whole project. As you will see, the base controller, the base model, the base policy, base presenter, and so on. So when you use, you need to extend all the classes that is from the base class. Like user controller extend base controller, user presenter extend base presenter, user repository eloquent extend base repository. So all models are reside under the models folder. We have foundation, interfaces, threads. The user also extend from base model. So every model you need to extend the base model to have observer of the events. For example, have uncreated event for users. The HTTP have the routes resides under HTTP folder and have its controllers. So we have Restful API under API folder, have controllers, also have its dedicated routes file. When you create APIs, you need to test them before you can use it. So you should test all the APIs using unit tests. Repository pattern. We have all the repository patterns resides under the project. So the highlighted folders will relevant to the repository pattern. We have the resources folder under root resources. You can see all the views black templates. We have Angular theme out of box, so it is under views Angular, and we also have all its source code under access Angular. We put view files under JS view. We also have less CSS usage. When you in development, you need to run the commands. In production, also another command team also. So we have unit tests and unit tests for APIs. It resides under tests. API is resides under API folder. So now we need to test get all user unit run. You will see interpreter is not specified. So we need to set up the PHP interpreter. Under PHP, we set the interpreter. Also change the language level to 7. Apply. So we run again. You see the unit test is running. Oh, it passed. So you will see all the results. We set the OHTH token user type before we call the APIs. We get all the response and see the JSON structure to do the unit test to check whether the response get what we want. Yes, that's all. So we can run all the tests under user test. It will run all the tests under this class. Oh, one fail. You see connection refused because we are running the unit test from our host. So we need to change the config of the database host to not localhost. It is should be the home state address. So we change to this. So we run the test again. Yes, you will see all the tests is passed. Okay. So we close. Now we wanted to create another entity called post that can be visited under post. So we make the entity post. Before we start, we wanted to add the project to Git repository. So I will new a repository, set the name to someline-starter demo. So create the repository. So I'm going to init the Git repository under the project. Yes, created. So the next step is to add all the files. using git add dot. Now we commit to initial commit. Then we add the remote o-ring to our address, this repository address. After add, we need to push to o-ring master. This will upload the codes to GitHub. Okay, push. You can visit all the codes under the repository that is just now committed. So we add the VCS root. Then you will see the buttons and GitHub you can use. Now we started to create the entity post. Generally, we will apply yes to all the questions. Then you will see under the local changes that have auto-generate many files that are related to entity post. Firstly, we go to the provider to import the class to make it nicer. Using Alt-Enter to import the class. Yes, Alt-Enter to import the class. Next, we need to change all the classes. Firstly, we move the post into the foundation folder because it is a foundation of our project. Okay, so now we change the model to use our base model. Change the post presenter to extend base presenter. Change the post repository to extend post repository interface. Change this to base repository. As you will see, the name is the same, so you just need to remove the usage on top. Then it will reference the same folder base repository class. The post we will extend base controller. Transformer also extend the base transformer. The rest no need to change. Okay, so now we will create the migrations for posts. Generally, we must put the incremental key. Then add the required fields to all the models because it extends the base model. We need to have all of these included. Then in the between, we can add our custom fields. So the primary key is post ID. It will use the singular form of the table name, append underscore ID. So we will add some custom fields. Go to Laravel docs. Under migrations, We can find the documentation of the migration usage. We create the columns. We copy the code. Change the fields to maybe title. Add one more. Change the type to text, then name as body. Add one more, maybe Boolean type, then the name is as recommended. We set the default value to false. Okay, this is the whole structure of the table. So we now need to add the structures, the custom fields to fieldable. We put the things aside. Add title to fieldable. Add body to fieldable. Also add as recommended to fieldable. Okay, now you will see there's no post table under the database. So we now will do a migrate. PHP artisan migrate. Yes, we migrate the table. If we wanted to refresh and see, we can just use the command. It will refresh. Oh, if we meet this problem, some class is not found, we need to use composer dump auto load. It will generate all the classes. Then we do it again. Okay, it will migrate the database and see afterwards. It is actually refresh all the tables. Now we can see the database. The post has been created. The structure also the same as what we specified. It's recommended as a Boolean, but the type should be set to tiny int to represent 0 and 1 as Boolean. Now we add the version files to Git. So we'll leave it and commit all the files first. Add the entity post. Uncheck the options. Then commit. Okay. So we close all files. Now we need to change the post controller. We don't use the auto-generate controller classes. Instead, we copy the codes from user's controller, then change the name to post controller. The rest will be replace all the user to post. you will see there's a capital and lowercase. So we replace with preserve case, change all the users to post. Everything will be changed, including the cases. So we are done of this. This is unnecessary, so we remove. Yeah, remove. There is no need for post. As you will see, we have post presenter. That is using post transformer. Under post, there's model validator. Under users, there's a extra more presenter. So we copy the presenter into the post repository eloquent. Change the presenter to post presenter. So we link the repository to the presenter. Now we remove some namespace. Okay, we will change the transformer to our own post fields. So we have title and body and as recommended. So we wanted to it transform when we present the data. So we'll about edit the fields. Then paste. Yes, we convert the as recommended to Boolean type. So this is the transform class. Then we wanted to add the fields to validator when we create or update the. So we go to Laravel document. Under validation, we can see all available validation rules. So we will use required is our title rule. Also for body, we set the type of as recommended to Boolean rule, then the rest to string, minimum 10 character for body. So the rule for update will be the same, except we no need to require the title and the body. It is when the things has been updated, we need to check the rules. Under API controllers, the post controllers is the controller for handling the routes for all the post actions. So we will put the post related routes under the API as user type. So we will create the group of prefix routes. Prefix is post. So we copy all the routes from users. This time we will try to replace all the users under the routes because we have the prefix already under the route group. So we replace all. Now we can easily access and see the routes. So we change the user controllers to POS controllers. Okay. So me is not required. No need. So we delete it. So the routes as ready. So we do apply the same to the user route. To have a better structure of the routes using the route group. We put all users and POS routes under the middleware of throttle, have the limits. So this is POS group. Yes, we can try to visit the user's routes again to verify the route it's working. Yes, it is working. So this time we will try to handle the routes. We try to use the unit test to verify what we have done. So copy the user test class, change it to POS test, add to Git. So change the class name to POS test. Now we will replace all the users under the class because we need to test the post. So we will replace all the occurrence of user to post. We match all cases, then preserve the case, then replace all. Okay, we are done. So we change all the irrelevant changes back, like the all-AUTH token type change back to user type. Okay, done. So we have all the tests, then remove the unnecessary test functions. So now we will try to change a bit of the unit test to match our requirement. We have POS ID and POS body, also have the as recommended. So we want to see the JSON structure if it is. We run. It fails because of route not found. This is because the preset API test case, the base API test case, base URI has been set to someline-starter.app. So we change to our own route. It is someline-starter-demo.app/API. So we now try to run the test again, see if it works. Yes, you will see the result is empty because we haven't populated our data into the database. So this time, you see, there's no data under the POS table. This time, we will try to use the database factories. Under the model factory, we will create a factory for POS. Change the model class name to POS, then remove unnecessary. So we can get our variables into this factory. So we will use faker to generate some random title and faker to generate some random fake paragraphs. So as a text true. Yes, we have our own factory set. Then we need to build the database seeder for the post. So under the seed, we copy the user table seeder to post table seeder. Now we change the class name. Then copy the class name to the database seeder as this is the main class to call the seeder. Then we truncate all the records before we can do the factory. So factory post class, we create 50, save to database, import the class. So change to 10 first. Okay, now we will run PHP artisan dbc. You can see the seeder has been put. Error is because of the class not load, so composer dump auto load. Now we run PHP artisan dbc again. Yes, done. So we can see the records under the database. Yes, you will see 10 records of posts, but the user ID is not defined because the factory we haven't set for it. So we want to set the user IDs into the factory results. We fetch all users from our database as users. So we for loop the users as user. So we add a PHP doc to declare the user as user model type to have auto prompt and complete feature. So we have two ways to do. First way is we make the records, then for loop maybe create to save the database first, then for each all the records, then for each as post. So the post user ID is equals to user ID. We need to use the user first before we can use the variable. So we use the get user ID. Okay. So we save the user ID into the database. We create two posts for each user. So now see. And you will see unknown column for ID. This is because we need to set the primary key for each model. By default, it is all set to ID, but our primary key for post is post ID. So we use the post ID as our primary key. Okay, we run again. Okay, done. So we check the database, refresh. So you will see each user will have two posts generated. Okay. So now we will go to Laravel document the eloquent relationship to add some relationship to our post and user. So firstly, we copy the relationship, then paste on the post model, change the belongs to user class. This will map the relationship from post to user using belongs to. Next, we create another relationship reverse from user. Say user has many posts, so we return this has many posts class. So we put the foreign key, user ID, and local key is also user ID. It is equivalent to set under the post relationship. Also put user ID and user ID as foreign key and local key. So we now get prepared, ready for second way of doing the seeder. So we copy the codes from first way and paste into second way. We change the create to make. Make only persists under memory, doesn't save into database. So we use the relationship user has many posts, so save many the make posts result. So we will introduce the variable to the results to make it clear. So as you see, we make two posts, save it in the user post, so it will auto-populate the user ID. So we see again. Okay. Then we check database. You will see the result is almost the same, but we do it differently. Second way, consider as a nicer way to do. So from now on, we can test the result. Okay, you will see the test as pass. But you see the create the add and the update the add is array, so we need to convert it to string. So this will convert the array of the datetime to a string. Yes. So the created it will be converted. You will see the created and updated is cast to a string. So we continue test the unit test. We test whether we can get a single pause. Done. So if we want to check the structure of the result, we can use CJSON structure, then put the structure of JSON like this to check we have the result. Okay, pass. So if we want to see the response data, we just use the print response data to print out all the response data. Yes, you will see the result has been printed out. So now we will try to copy the fields and put it to create tests. So we have some test title and test body. Then we print the response data. Then assert response is okay. So we run. It fails. So we will see it is 405 method not allowed. Means at not allowed we pause this to the routes. So we will see there's no pause. So we copy the pause route for users and paste into the pause. Modify it to under pause under route posts. So change it to controller. We run again. Fail again. So it is the resources owner deny the request. It means we are requesting the OHUTH type user using different type to access. Yes, here is client. So we need to change the OHUTH token type to user. Then run again. You will see 403 forbidden. So this is because by default the HTTP request that generate as being not authorized the request by default. So we temporarily change to authorize all requests. Then run again. Fail again. So check again. So it is the body must be at least 10 characters as we say in the validator. So we will change this test case to test create pause incorrect. Then assert response status to self HTTP unprocessable entity. So we run again. So this test will be passed. So now we test the correct way of create the pause. Make it the body longer. So run again. Pass. So you will see the data has been inserted into the database. So we refresh. It should be at the bottom. Yes. So you will see our record test title is being inserted into the database. So we will change the update pause unique test to like test title changed. Then run again. You will see success. We check refresh. It is actually update the pause ID as 2. So we change it to ascending order. You will see the test title is changed. Okay, we test the delete. So we'll delete ID as 3. If not exist, we will create first before we can delete. So you will see number 3 is here. Then we run. Okay, we refresh. You will see number 3 ID has been deleted. So we are finished our creating of the CRUD ways. So this is the part of it back end. We will try to commit this stage first. So change the commit message to add post API with test. Yes, commit all the files. Committed. So now we will move on to next stage. As we want to visit posts under the web. So we will close all the files, close all the folders, then start for front end first. So you see the VCS is clean, no changes. So now we will go to HTTP, the routes, to add our routes. So we copy the user's route, change it to post route. Then we will try to create a view first by copying the files under resources views. So we copy whole folder users into posts. So add to VCS. Okay, we change the file name to post list. Okay, we change the h1 title to posts. We leave it first. So we change the view path to post list. Now we can visit it under web. Yes, so the result returned as users because we haven't changed it. So we commit first, create posts. Now we will try to change the body of the posts. We are using view, so the view is under resources asset.js view. We go to asset.js view to see all the files. Under components, we have Vuejs, and under the view root folder we have main.js that is reference the components. So we create a folder first called post. So we copy the two files from user list, pass it into the post. Change the name to post list. Also change it to post list group item. Okay. Now we will try to add the files into reference. Under app.js, on the top we need to import post list, and the path is view components post list.view. So we change the component name to lt post list. lt is only a prefix. So we will keep the user list, then reference the name under our post list bullet. So change this to lt post list. So because we are in development, we need to run the script. Using PHP Storm, we can open the npm tab, then double tap the div. It will auto run when the file changes. So because it says cannot find module, actually we need to import correct module. So we import under the same directory the post list group item into post list group item, then set it with the name lt post list item. So we use it under our template. So we save it will auto generate the scripts. So the lt post list item is referenced under post list view. So you will see that things has been auto merged and populated, copied. So we visit again. We check. So go to console. We couldn't find errors under network, so we go to console. User list is not defined. So go back to app.js. On the top we have the things, so copy and revert, then append below. So merge again. So test again. So it works, but the data still using the user's data. So this time we need to change the request URL to post to get our post. Okay, so this is the view resources. We refresh. Under the view, it will auto request all the post data and populate it out. We go to the view extension, check the items. We have already all the data that is bind to the post list. Under console also can check the results, but it's not nicer. So we go to network, XHR, post response. We can see the data clearly. There is get from the backend. So we want to show the data out in front end. So as you will see, we reference the post list group item. So we change the item to item.title to get the title out. Then we change the A to D first. So we will add one more tag, P, to print out the body. Then refresh. After script merge, so you will see all the data has been populated out in the web. So we change add what class text muted. And also we uncommit the command to print out the item, convert to JSON. Then we can see the item has been printed out at the bottom. All the data are visually displayed. So we will uncommit, then commit first. So we'll uncheck all the public false because it is all auto-generate one. So we'll commit later. We commit the first, the false we change like add post list view support. Okay. No. So we will add the on-version files, add to VCS, add the fields. We need to refresh first. Okay. Add to VCS, then we will commit all the files together. Check all. Build resources. So commit. These files will commit. Okay. So now we'll try to add a new view file as new post. So under the route, we also create one more route called post/new. Again, we copy the file, then paste it under post, change the name to new_post. So we will reference it under the route post new post, then change it. Add the import into our app.js. So it will reference. So all the import components under app.js can be only referenced from bullet templates. So we will add a new post, reference new post of view, then copy the new post, add the name to lt new post. Then we reference this name under our bullet template. We remove, then use the name lt new post. So we visit on web post/new. You will see the data is also printed out, but it is called the new post.view. So this time, we delete all the code that is irrelevant. Then we try to put some our custom layout. So we can see the layout has been created, new post with a panel. So now we will go to docs to see our team, the usage. Under team, click the HTML version. We can go to the team Angular as well, provide the outbox. Under form element, we have the basic form. So inspect the basic form, just copy the codes, copy alter HTML, then we change Okay, we change everything, then change the heading to new post. So we refresh. It is Angular, no, the Angular JS. It is just a name of Angular. It has the Angular version also that is using Angular JS. So don't confuse about the name. So yes, it works. So we now to change a bit of it. Change the label to title, placeholder to title, then have some body. Maybe we not use input. We use text area dot phone control tab. So refresh. Okay. So add some more columns to make the height larger. Maybe 10 rows. Okay. You will see the body is height. So we change the checkbox. This time to recommended. Maybe we use it is all the source code is under Angular, so we can use everything under here, under the templates. So we try to use the switch radio. So inspect, then copy the code. So paste below, then add the name, then remove the checks. Okay, refresh. Sounds not good. So we use the phone group, then put the things under the. Okay, still not perfect. So add a div to the label. Okay, acceptable. So this is the radio box. Then we change the submit button to save. Maybe we add some paintings. So under the documents, we can see a lot of useful class. We use empty margin top, m dash t dash mid. So it will margin top medium, then add the h1 new post. So we refresh. It will add the new post title. So if we want to passing data from our black template, maybe we set the attribute header to new post. We need to create the view props to tell Vue that we need the header as our prop. So you can passing the header here and passing to Vue component and print out the header here. Yes, it works. So we can actually using the PHP under the black template. So maybe echo some random 1 to 20. New post. Okay, you see the PHP code has been passed in here. So we can use the easier black printout for syntax by using double curly braces, then print out. It also works. It is cleaner and nicer. So at just a demonstration, I will remove. So remove unnecessary codes. Okay. So we create some data, phone data as an object to save all the model's data that will be later used to post the form. So we create the panel footer, then print out the JSON data of phone data. Okay, yes, it will print out. So we add a pre-box. Oh, so we remove the white space of this. So it is used as the same as post list group item. So refresh. Yes, we see it is nicely printed out. So we now populate the things by all the import text area and input the data into V model. So just a break of lines, make it nicer. V model. Save it in the phone data.title. So the type will be text. So we will use it under text area also. So V model will bind to body. And also V model bind the checkbox to phone data dot. It's recommended. So now we go to models, our post model. So copy the as recommended name. So the terms used here should be the same as what we define in the model. So as you see, as recommended is set to true once the page is loaded. So when we type title, the title will add to the form data body also. So this will automatically bind to the vModel object. So we refresh. By default, the recommended will be checked. So we remove the check. And it is unchecked at first. We can define a default value under the data, phone data, set default value to true. So once the page is loaded, it will auto check it. Yes, you will see it is true, so the radio box is checked. Then we set to false, so it will auto set not check. Yes, not switch on. So now we add required attribute to the input and also to the text area. So when we want to submit, it will prompt us the things. If we submit, it will continue submit to the phone by default way. So we want to capture the submit function. So type add submit, then call a function, maybe on submit phone function method. So we will copy the method name. Under the component, we add methods, then put the method inside. So maybe we console log out the name of the method, means when we submit, we will call this. So we have used this for currently as unnecessary, so we comment out. Then refresh. So no errors. When we click yes, it prompts us to submit. Then you will see on submit phone has been called, but it will continue to submit by default. So we need to prevent the default by keying the dot prevent it submit. So this time when we type something, when we click save, it will call the function, then prevent the default action. So yeah. We now can continue further improve the onSubmit function. So we can console log the phone data by reference this dot phone data. Yes, you will see that phone data has been populated out. The body, the title, that is equal recommended. Also can see under the HTML. Now we will cut the code, then paste here. So we need to use view resources, the save function. So we will go to view resources to check how we can use the view resources. Under creating resources, we need to use the save because it used the method post. So this is the post. So we replace the code here. because we no need to use the ID, so delete the ID. Yes, so we comment as save item data. Then we passing the whole object of this dot phone underscore data. Then we change the function to traditional way of syntax. Function, then function remove the. Okay, so we will console log when error occur. Console log as error. Also console log success. Yes, as that simple. So we go back to the page, refresh, and test, and you will see 422 unprocessable entity. We go to see the body must be at least 10 characters, so it is an error. So we wanted to print out the error, so we have create the error message under the data, by default set to null. So we will reference this error when we have the error here. So we console log response first for both success and error. Refresh, then try again. So here we will see the whole response object, and you can see under the data there's a message. So we want to extract the message out to the error message. So error message is equals to response.data.message. Here the message. Okay, we want to check if the response is really have the member message. So if has we assign to this dot error message. Secondly, we need to display the error message as alert. So create alert before the save button. Alert danger. So we just simply print out the error message. Try again. So you will see the alert as by default will be shown, but nothing inside. Once we save, yes, the message will auto display it. So we only show the message if it is not now. So we use vshow, then error message. Yeah. So save again, refresh. Okay, it is gone by default. So we save, then it pop up the error message. So we wanted to add some animation to this. So we will add animated class, then using the shape animation. So it is using animate.css. So we refresh, try again. So you will see the animation has been shown. So now we wanted to have the save button to have the state of disable when we are performing the request. So add the as updating to the data, by default set to false. So before we request the things, we save to true. Then finally we call the function. No matter it is success or fail, we just set the is updating to false. Okay, so we will use the semicolon disabled, then using the is updating. So when the is updating is true, then it will disable the set button to prevent second request. You see, the button has been disabled, but when the request complete, the button become live again. So we save. Yes, you see the button become clickable again, but we haven't showed the hide the error message. So we check first. You see the data has been added to the database. So before we calling the request, we set the error message to null. So try again. So less than character. Prompt the message. Then save. You see the message gone, not show, so success. Show again. So as recommended, also auto update to 1. Yes, we are done. Now we will try to add a redirect. When we have success, save the post. So you can call under the mix means there's a tools, have a lot of tools. We only use redirect to URL. So call this redirect to URL. Then you can perform the redirect to any URL. Maybe now we just redirect to posts. Yes, to the past. So we refresh. Then do it again. So it should redirect us back to posts when we success. Yes, correct. We have redirect back to posts. Then you will see the records at the bottom. Next, we will try to move the it's updating to false. Only happens if the perform is error. So we'll leave the finally to empty. So this will prevent the button being re-enabled again for further clicking if the request has been success while we are redirecting. Yes, that's almost all of it. So for the same form, if we want to have the update for the post, we only need to update. Let's say post 2, we need to update. We need to change the resources to update resources.update, then passing the parameters through the black and set a props here, like say post ID. So you can passing the post ID. Leave it for you to figure out. So now I will commit the changes first. Uncheck the public build resources, then add new post support. So commit, then go to VCS. There's a on version form, so add to VCS. Then we build resources, commit and push to GitHub, push. Okay, that's it. Thank you.